I really wanted to go back into that sexy memory orb again. I really did. Who killed them? Gloria asked in a horrified whisper as we trotted past. She had her wing draped over Scotch's face, and the filly wasn't arguing. Think that matters to them anymore? P21 replied softly. It mattered to me. It was all so stupid. Life was already hard enough. Why were we killing each other? For caps? Bullets? Technology? What was the fucking point? I couldn't tell if they were raiders, gangsters, settlers, and like P21 said, what does it matter? We should search them, P21 muttered. I hissed softly, but then nodded. He was right, as much as I hated to admit it. And he could do it. Gloria and Scotch went around the corner. I saw her peeking. Rampage had been right. I wanted to protect her innocence. There was no such thing in the wasteland. How could you protect them from this? Bodies. So many bodies. And from the smears of viscera, some of them had died badly. He came back with a scattering of ammo, caps, and blue banded grenades, which he stowed away. And then we just left them. We couldn't tear up the asphalt for a grave, and no pony could make a fire in this place. I was soon corrected. A block later, we found 3 suits of blackened power armor inside a charred cafe. Wood had been piled beneath them. Blackened skulls hung out of the husks. They'd been cooked inside their armor. I looked at the dealer, at his somber expression. Smile, damn you. Laugh! Be some pony I could focus all my hate upon. I needed that hate. But he simply watched with tired eyes. I guess even death could get sick of himself. The rain hadn't let up much. It came down in heavy sheets that seemed to wave over the ground. I felt physically bruised despite my barding. Lacuna's rain shield barely covered herself, Scotch, and P21. The only silver lining was that the rain kept visibility to almost nothing. As long as I had my EFS and anything dangerous didn't, we'd probably be able to avoid hostiles. We were now following the churning brown flow of the rain-swelled water. The further north we went, the bigger and more elaborate the shops became. The ones here were built along a walkway, the opposite side of which had a railing and a wall straight down to the water. When it started to hail, I really hadn't realized it was possible for memory orb-sized pieces of ice to fall from the sky. Now I had. And suddenly I wanted to go back in time, find whatever pony had discovered this valley, and thought, let's live here, and throw buckets of ice at her head. We finally reached the plaza, and I swore at chunks of ice were reaching hoof-sized. We can't stay out here, I shouted over the crackling and pinging of ice blocks bouncing off the broken pavement around us. I might make it, with my head harder than a lump of ice, but from how weak Lacuna's shield appeared, it wouldn't be long until it faded under the weathering barrage. I pointed out a large 3-story building. Silver Star Sporting Supplies. There was a mess of debris blocking the doors, but it seemed to have the most important thing intact. An intact roof. The 5 of us darted across. The one chunk of ice made me reassess my estimate of my head's toughness. It nearly took me off my hooves for a minute before I was able to shake it off. We managed to shift the mess just enough to open the door. After P21 unlocked it, of course. It took us... That is a good sign. We pushed our way through and pulled the door shut, locking it behind us. A few seconds later, there was a buzz, then a flicker as some of the lights tried to come back to life, but only made it halfway. The speakers crackled, and then some tune involving a piano and banjos played softly. The few lights that had managed to stay lit illuminated large paintings of a gray cow-pony sheriff poking fun at a bunch of scowling brown brutes. I had no idea what they were supposed to be, but apparently, from the pictures on the walls, they were big, strong, and stupid. The square building had a large, open, airy build, with the second and third floors as balconies overlooking large sales floors. One wall and most of the ceilings were glass panes, but water fell in strings and ribbons through dozens of cracks, saturating the filthy apparel that lay in heaps around the first floor. Every step squished as we moved deeper in. The junk and sodden clothes had congealed into a pasty mass. "No red bars," I murmured. Nothing invisible rushing out to attack us. I trotted to the far doors, but they were locked as well. There was a little camp over by the cash registers, with heaps of dry food containers and skeletons, 4 of them. They all had oversized cowboy hats like the one worn by the cartoon sheriff on the walls. The store employees, I suspected. I lifted 2 hunting rifles, but 2 centuries in the wet had made them poor clubs, let alone firearms. There were other guns too. I was a little surprised, but the moisture hadn't treated them any better. The brass and copper-jacketed hunting rounds had fared much better inside the boxes, though, even if the boxes themselves were soggy. "Might as well see if there's anything of value in here," I said as I looked around the cavernous space lit only by scattered, dim, flickering lamps and whatever sparse light managed to get into the clouds and windows above. Why was my main not liking this? I really wished I had Rampage here right now. She'd know if we were in the Flash Philly territory or not. I wanted her here just to crack off some joke and relieve the tension. I just wanted her here. Scotch shadowed me as she checked the bullet primers for rust. I cleared out of the bits in the register to trade for down the road. I looked at them, the image of Princess Luna stamped on one side and Princess Celestia on the other. And then I heard the filly sniff. I looked over to see her push up her goggles and rub her eyes. Did I do something wrong? Huh? I knelt down to look at her eyes. No, of course not. Why would you think you did that? And then, why would she talk with me? Why does she hate me now? She said with a sniff. We were going to the tunnels, and then I wake up, and you're missing an eye, and Gloria doesn't have a wing, and Rampage doesn't have her armor, and every pony keeps acting funny. So, I must have done something wrong. She said as she hung her head. At least she hadn't come out of the procedure early enough to also wonder why Rampage had mysteriously only a few years older than her. Not remembering sucks. I took a deep breath. Rampage doesn't hate you, Scotch. She had Reaper things she had to do. She'll be back someday. Oh, I really hoped that was true. I sighed and fed her the one line I could think of. Don't think about it, Scotch. There's nothing down there you'd want to remember. It was really bad, I said as I stroked her mane. I wish I didn't remember, I said sincerely, but I never deserved to forget. I saw the hurt in her eyes. Not from anything, just hurt. Yeah, she said, frowning and kicking an empty tin. I guess. Come on, let's find the others, I said, walking towards the back rooms. We found P-21 tapping away on the monitor's computer. A picture on the wall showed an aged gray buck, grinning and smiling smugly, with a huge cowpony hat on his head and a sheriff's star on his vest. Beneath the picture, a plaque. Our founder, sharing and caring is for suckers. There was an odd word, an obscure word rarely used in 99. I always wondered what it was about, but it seemed to summarize the picture perfectly. Schmuck. Find anything good? I asked P-21. Scotch Tape picked up the intact book off the desk and began flipping through it. Unless you're really interested in this place's earnings in the last quarter, no. The only thing in here that isn't related to business is this. He opened the file. Tamaramare Terminal, number 3224-C. Hey, bro. Sorry, you missed another session. It was fucking wicked. Calamity crashed the fucking train into the possessed Ursa Major. Primrose was like, "So, what's the damage for the train?" I just lopped off half its hit points right there. She was a tough-ass fight, though. Had to pull a few crits, and Calamity had lost her leg. And the doc got eaten, but Brandywine can just make another character. Anywho, hope things are okay at the base. We miss you, bro. Tamara Terminal, number 3224-C. Bro, where are you? We got another mayor in the group, named Parsley. Let her play Jack since you were gone. It ain't the same. She's got the game system down, but she just can't play the guy. You know? Anyway, bro, old Silverstar was pissed. Apparently, we got a big fat roaches, and not the good kind, bro. Anyway, make the next game, bro. Parsley's like bam and whoa and swing and yeah. You can get rid of that cherry now, bro. You hear me? Easy poon. Talk to you soon, bro. Tamara Terminal, number 3224-C. Hey, bro. Sorry to hear you won't be able to make the game anymore. No, I don't have a problem, but I don't know where we're gonna find another Smiling Jack. I can't believe you're just going to leave me alone with all these mayors in the wasteland. How can you be so cruel? Let me know if you ever get the chance to play. I know things are 10 gallons of suck right now for Pony. Just yesterday I got chewed out by the sheriff for a bug problem. I got something I want to take care of, I hope. Better not be like the last time. So, take it easy. Brohoof. Bro. P.S. You know where we can pick up some male gamers? Tamara Terminal, number 322-4. Hey, bro. You okay? I tried to call Marimar, but she says you're not there. Bro, come on, and talk to me. This is bro. You know things aren't cool right now. Bro, just talk to me. I still got Smiling Jack. I hope I can talk to you soon. Wanna take you out for another romp in the wasteland. Bro. In the wasteland. I read aloud, feeling a shiver down my spine. Scotch Tape looked up from the book. Around Appaloosa, fighting off Wendigos, zombie buffaloes, and mad science mares while dealing dark magic, bullets, and grit. Then she held up the hardback book. See? I leaned in a little. Wasteland, a game of Western horror. I looked at the cover art of a steam train like I'd seen in picture books being pulled by ponies, while a half-dozen skeletal pegasi flew overhead, kept at bay by an earth pony buck with some sort of steam-driven Gatling gun, a black Pegasus casting a spell from floating playing cards, and a unicorn who reminded me of Vanity shooting 2 floating revolvers. A game? Real-life horror wasn't bad enough, so ponies had to make up others? It didn't seem like any kind of game I knew. I looked around the filthy, derelict office. Well, if this is a game, I'd sure like to quit and play Happy Fluffy Bunny's Land. P21 snorted, and even Scotch Tape seemed to get like the idea. So, anything else? He suddenly looked evasive, his R's darting to the side. What? He looked at the terminal inside, bringing up another.